Hello friends, welcome back to BioVidyalaya. I hope you all are doing very well. Here in this video we are doing a revision of plant hormones with some CSIR net previous year question discussion. Before going to begin, if you are new to my channel then please subscribe right now. So let's start. Before going to the question discussion, I will give a quick summary about the major plant hormones. So what is meant by plant hormones? Plant hormones or growth substances are components that act specifically to regulate growth and development at low concentration. That means these plant hormones that will promote or inhibit the growth and development of plants. And the first plant hormone identified was auxin. The major plant the major plant auxin is indole 3 acetic acid. That means IAA. Auxin have variety of effects including elongation, cell division and differentiation, apical dominance. Apical dominance means that will inhibit the latter bud formation. They produce parthenocarpy fruits. They frequently work with other hormones, principally cytokinin. Okay. Auxins are mostly synthesized from amino acid tryptophan. IAA biosynthesis is associated with rapidly dividing and rapidly growing tissue, preferentially in shoot, which includes shoot apical meristem, young leaves, developing fruits and seeds. There are two pathways for auxin biosynthesis, tryptophan dependent and tryptophan independent. There are three pathways in tryptophan dependent: IPA pathway, TAM pathway. TAM pathway means TAM pathway and IAN pathway. In IPA pathway, first deamination is occurring and second decarboxylation is occurring. But in TAM pathway, first decarboxylation is occurring, after that deamination is occurring. You can see both TAM and IPA pathway in tomato plants. And the IAN pathway is important only in three plant families. That three plant families are mustard family, grass family and banana family. Okay. Auxin shows polar and gravity independent transport. It moves basipetally, that means from apex to the base, and involves auxin transport protein. You can see aeropetal transport, aeropetally, transport via aeropetally in phloem. Okay. And auxin anion efflux carriers are known as spin protein. Okay. And auxin transport inhibitors are TIBA, NPA and 1-NOA. 1-NOA that will inhibit auxin uptake and TIBA and NPA that will inhibit auxin transport by interference with pin cycling. That will inhibit auxin efflux. Okay. And one more point, an auxin receptor, that is ABP1. You have to remember that auxin receptor is ABP1. Cytokine. Zeatin was the first natural plant cytokine, promotes cell differentiation and division, often acting in association with auxin. You have to remember that this cytokine that will initiate shoot development, but this auxin that will initiate root development, advantageous root development. Okay. They delay senescence and promote chloroplast maturation in etiolated seedlings. Their synthesis based on isoprene units occurred in various tissues and organs. They are transported in the xylem as cytokine conjugates and inactivated by oxidation. Cytokine with auxins are involved in plant tumor formation and in morphogenesis, the development of roots and shoot. If high concentration of cytokine is higher than auxin, then shoot will develop. If concentration of auxin is higher than cytokine, then root will develop. That you have to remember. Next is abscisic acid. Abscisic acid is a regulator of dormancy and germination of seeds and of plants' response to stress. This is a stress response hormone. It is synthesized in root and shoots at a high rate in stressed tissue. It is transported in xylem and phloem. Okay. Next is ethylene. Ethylene is a gaseous hormone first identified as a regulator of fruit ripening. It also stimulates senescence and abscission. In seedlings, it initiates the triple response, that means epinacity, downward curvature of the leaves, lateral growth, that means increase in stem width, and inhibition of elongation. It is synthesized from S-adenosyl methionine, that means SAM, via 1-aminocyclopropane, 1-carboxylic acid. So, the precursor is methionine and the pathway is called the cycle is called the Young cycle. Next is gibberellins. They are large group of compounds formed from isoprene unit. Gibberellins are diterpene acids synthesized by the terpenoid pathway. Gibberellins stimulate elongation in dwarf plants and mediate transition from rosette form to flowering in response to temperature or day length. They also modulate process involved in seed and bud dormancy. The most studied and probably most significant gibberellin is GA3. That is very important. G1 is most significant in elongation responses and GA9 in flowering. Okay. So let's see the questions. So the first question is from CSIR Net December 2017. Question is, the plant hormone gibberellic acid is generally not associated with. Options are option A stem elongation, option B parthenocarpy, option C parthenogenesis, option D malproduction. If you know the functions of gibberellic acid, then you can easily answer this question. Here you have to find the function that is not associated with gibberellic acid. Okay. So let's see the options. First option A, stem elongation. Yes, stem elongation is associated with gibberellic acid. This is one function of gibberellic acid. So this is not the correct answer. Okay. Next, parthenocarpy. Yes, this is also the function of gibberellic acid. Parthenocarpy means it is natural of artificially induced production of fruit without fertilization of ovules. That means the fruit is seedless. So seedless fruit production is called the parthenocarpy. Okay, so this is the function of gibberellic acid. So this is also not correct. Next is parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis means it is a production of egg cells without fertilization. Example in mangosteen. Okay. This is not the function of gibberellic acid. So this is the correct answer. Here we have to find which is not associated with gibberellic acid. So parthenogenesis is not the function of gibberellic acid. So this is the correct answer. Next is malproduction. This is also the function of gibberellic acid. One of the steps of malproduction is germination. We know that in germination, gibberellic acid is involved, isn't it? This gibberellic acid treatment increases alpha amylase content of germinating seeds, and this such germinating grains give good quality of malt to brewing industries. Example, barley. Okay. So this is also the function of gibberellic acid. So this is not correct. So the correct answer is option C, parthenogenesis. This is the question from CSIR Net June 2017. Question is, for which one of the plant hormone biosynthetic pathway, 1-aminocyclopropane, 1-carboxylic acid is an intermediate? Options are option A, abscisic acid, option B, brasinosteroid, option C, ethylene, option D, gibberellic acid. So here, question is, for which one of the plant hormone biosynthetic pathway, 1-aminocyclopropane, 1-carboxylic acid, that means ACC, is an intermediate. I already told you that ACC is an intermediate in Young cycle, that means ethylene biosynthetic pathway. So here you can see that this is ACC, 1-aminocyclopropane, 1-carboxylic acid. And the precursor of ethylene biosynthesis is, methionine. Okay. So the correct answer is ethylene. So here in option C, ethylene is there. So the correct answer is option C, ethylene. Okay. And the biosynthetic pathway is known as Young cycle. Okay. This is the question from CSIR Net June 2016. Question is, which one of the following hormone uses the 2-component histidine kinase receptor system for signal transduction? Options are option A, auxin, option B, gibberellin, option C, cytokinin, and option D, abscisic acid. So you can see a bacterial kind of 2-component system in the hormone cytokinin. Hormone cytokinin receptor system is a 2-component system. So here you can see that this is a simple 2-component signaling system. Here this is the sensor histidine kinase. This is response regulator. Here this is the input domain. This is the transmitter domain. This is the receiver domain, and this is the output domain. Okay. So this input domain that will sense the signal. This regulates the activity of histidine kinase domain, which when activated autophosphorylates on conserved histidine. This histidine residue will autophosphorylate on activation. And the phosphate is then transferred to the aspartate residue on receiver domain. This is the aspartate residue of the receiver domain. Okay. Phosphorylation of this aspartate regulates the activity of the output domain. This is the output domain. Okay. And this output domain itself is a transcription factor, and that will lead to the activation of transcription. Okay. So here, which hormone has a 2-component histidine kinase receptor system? That is cytokinin. So the correct answer is option C, cytokinin. Okay. This is the question from CSIR Net June 2016. Question is, which one of the following will be observed when auxin to cytokinin ratio increased in the culture medium during organogenesis from tobacco pitch callus? Options are option A, adventitious root will form, option B, adventitious shoot will form, option C, there will be no root formation, option D, there will be no shoot formation. Okay. So, you have to remember that higher ratio of cytokine to auxin that will forwards shoot production. That means low auxin to cytokinin ratio. Whereas high auxin to cytokine ratio favors root protection. An intermediate level of both cytokinin and auxin that will enhance callus formation. Okay, this you have to remember. And this auxin that will promote adventitious root formation. Adventitious root means that is fibrous root. Okay, like this hair-like root. That is called the adventitious root. So this auxin that will promote adventitious root formation. So here auxin to cytokinin ratio is increased. So here auxin concentration is more as compared to cytokinin. Then what will favors root formation? Root formation is favors here. Okay. High auxin to cytokinin ratio favors root formation or root production. Okay. So let's see the options. Option A, adventitious root will form. This is correct. Adventitious shoot will form. This is not correct. There will be no root formation. This is not correct. There will be no shoot formation. This is also not correct. The correct answer is option A, adventitious root will form. Okay. This is also one question from CSIR Net June 2016. Question is, the following statements are made to describe auxin signal transduction pathway from receptor binding to the physiological response. Statement A, auxin response factor are nuclear protein that bind to auxin response elements to activate or repress gene transcription. Statement B, AUS IAA proteins are secondary regulators of auxin-induced gene expression. Binding of AUS IAA proteins to the ARF protein block its transcription regulation. Statement C, auxin binding to TIR1-AFP promote ubiquitin mediated degradation and removal of AUS IAA proteins. Statement D, auxin binding to auxin response factors causes their destruction by the 26S proteasome pathway. Which one of the following combination of above statement is correct? Option 1 A, B and C. Option 2 A, C and D. Option 3 B, C and D. Option 4 A, B and D. Okay. Here we have to select the correct statements. So this plant hormone auxin that is important signaling molecule for plant growth and development, and auxin signaling pathway comprises three family response protein, namely TIR1, ARF and AUS-IAA proteins. This ARF is a transcription factor. Okay. So here this gray color is indicating auxin. So at lower auxin concentration, what will happen? This AUS IAA will bind with ARF, so the transcription will not occur. Okay. But in higher auxin concentration, this auxin that will bind with TIR1. This is a nuclear receptor complex. And this auxin-bound receptor recognizes AUS IAS protein for ubiquitin and degradation. So, degradation of AUS IAA protein is occurring at higher auxin concentration. So, transition of auxin regulated gene will occur. That will allow auxin regulated gene transcription. Okay. So at low oxygen concentration, there is no transcription, but in higher oxygen concentration, there is transcription of oxygen regulated gene. Okay, so let's see the statement. Statement A. Oxygen response factors are nuclear proteins that bind to oxygen response elements to activate or repress gene transcription. This is correct. Next statement B. AUS-IAA proteins are secondary regulator of oxygen-induced gene expression. Binding of AUS-IAA protein to the ARF protein block its transcription regulation. This is also correct. Next statement C. Oxygen binding to TIR1 AFB promote ubiquitin mediated degradation and removal of AUX-IAA protein. This is also correct. Next statement D. Oxygen binding to oxygen response factors causing their destruction by 26S proteasome pathway. This is not correct. Oxygen is not binding to oxygen response factors. Oxygen is binding to TIR1. So this is not correct. Which one of the following combination of above statement is correct? Which are the correct statement? A, B and C. So here option 1 is the correct answer. Option 1, A, B and C is the correct answer. Okay. Next question is from CSIR net December 2015. Question is, gibberellic acid controls seed germination by directing breakdown of the stored starch. In which one of the following tissue of the barley seed alpha amylase gene is induced in response to gibberellic acid? Options are option A endosperm, option B coleoptile, option C aileron layer, option D embryo. Okay. So during seed germination, what is happening? The embryo absorbs water and germination process will start, and this gibberellic acid that will diffuse from embryo. This is diffused from embryo to the aileron layer. Okay. And cells in the aileron layer responds by releasing digestive enzyme alpha amylase. This aileron layer that will release alpha amylase. That is a digestive enzyme. This enzyme digests starch and releasing sugar and other molecule for the growth of the plant. Okay. So that is the process of seed germination. So here in this question they ask gibberellic acid controls seed germination by directing breakdown of stored starch. In which one of the following tissue of the barley seed alpha amylase gene is induced in response to gibberellic acid? So we can say that this alpha amylase gene is present in aileron cells. Okay, this alpha amylase gene will activate or that will induce in response to gibberellic acid. Gibberellic acid is coming from embryo. Okay. So here answer is aileron layer. So let's see the option. Option A endosperm. This is not correct. Option B coleoptile. This is not correct. Option C aileron layer. This is correct. Option D embryo. This is also not correct. So the correct answer is option C aileron layer. This is a CSIR net part C question. Try to find out the answer and comment me your answers. Here I am winding up this video. If you like this video and find it helpful, please click the like button, share with your friends and subscribe this channel to get more videos like this. Keep learning. Thank you.